Sugars, we have a special announcement before we get the show started. It's going to happen last minute. As you know, our show is hosted on Acast, the wonderful Acast. They are doing Staycast during all this corona. Although we're calling it a gay cast, but it's kind of like a Staycast live. So we're going to be taking over their Instagram today at 5 p.m. Pacific time. You can follow there, and we're going to be talking about, you all know us. We'll probably have a little gay DD, but we're definitely going to be talking about Darcy's iconic moment this week and kind of let's just start with the love life of Darcy Silva. Let's analyze that shit, y'all. So we'll be doing that today, going live on Instagram at 5 p.m. Pacific time. We're taking over their Instagram. So it will be, so you can follow us at 90 Day Gays, but also Acast for the stories. And I'll put that in the show notes so you can follow that as well. We'll see you today at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So that's 8 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, Lord. Y'all, welcome to 90 Day Gays.
It's 90 Day Gays. This is the bonus episode.
This is a bonus episode.
The more off of our normal topic we get, the more higher my voice goes.
Yes. This is the Corona bonus.
This is the Corona bonus. Y'all, we decided to give you something very different for us.
Y'all might hate it.
You might hate it. I kind of spearheaded this. It may be ridiculous, but what else? You got time. I mean, honestly, what else are you going to do? You going to go listen to Planet Money or some shit?
Planet Money.
What are you going to go listen to?
Carl and Kim giving you economy advice.
Honk and Tom in the morning.
Honk and Tom. Hey, cats and kittens, welcome. Ha, ha. Do you think any radio disc jockeys still say cats and kittens?
No one says that. She says that.
Who's she?
Carol Baskin.
Oh, no, I meant like that. They were like, hey, cats and kittens.
Casey Kasem said things like that, but he never said cats and kittens.
Casey Kasem.
No, that was Carol Baskin's sign-off. No,
that was
no
Carol
radio
Baskin.
DJ ever said that. Why have you already hijacked my idea into
actually kind of
absurdity? I can't hear myself. Turn me up.
I just kind of segued into what we're talking about.
I think I'm not high. There, that is a little better.
Yeah, it's fine.
I still sound a little hollow.
That's just the way your voice sounds, because you have no soul.
I hate you. Y'all, this bonus episode, now that I get to it after being waylaid, no radio DJ said that.
I didn't remember.
That's Carol fucking Baskin who killed her husband.
But it's a segue because of what we're going to talk about today.
Oh,
that's
murder.
That's where we got the idea from this.
Y'all.
You're welcome.
This is called My Gayest Murder. You've never listened to the show, so you don't know what... Y'all, we're doing My Gayest Murder, like my favorite murder. But instead of Stay Sexy, Don't Get Murdered, it's SSDG. Stay Sexy, Don't Get Gonorrhea.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
something everybody can get behind.
This is a murder that's gay. It's really gay, 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 gay.
Y'all get your bracelets of SSDGG.
Boy, it just rolls right off your mouth, doesn't it? Boy, just good merch right there. Y'all, cough in your elbow.
I don't have the corona, y'all. We've had days of alternating rain and sunny, and so everything bloomed. We both woke up with our eyes were swollen.
Come at us if you have allergies, and then it just gives you corona anxiety.
I need a shirt that says, fuck off, it's allergies.
Yeah, I do too. Put that on a face mask.
Fuck off, it's allergies. Y'all, this is My Gayest Murder, and we're here to talk about. There's nothing really gay about.
We are.
I hate you.
Just making sure.
I'm trying to get on a train of thought.
Yeah,
you
sorry.
interrupt
I
me.
literally got panicked. I thought we weren't recording.
When are we ever going to be professional?
Never. Never.
Not until someone's doing it for us.
It's true.
Can I drink this and hold it and not spill it on the couch?
It's true. Poodle's already.
Y'all, I'm drinking it. It's 5:21.
Is it 5:21?
It's 5:21 in the p.m.
It is. Okay, so tell them.
You've been shitting.
I'm not going to say
You've been shitting around.
I'm going to put the microphone down. You just talk.
Thank you. This is... Now you're sitting over here and pouting. And you're on your phone. Get off your phone, you whore. Anyway, y'all, this is my gayest murder. And we're going to talk about gay murder. Now, murder's not really gay because murder doesn't have a sexual orientation.
True.
But you can be murdered as a gay person, or you can murder someone as a gay person.
Yes.
But we wanted to basically say, you know, when you hear like true crime things and you're like, oh, that's really sad that someone like a gay serial killer or someone he attacked gay men. No, I saw this story and went, that's a gay murder.
It's a gay murder. Now, you could be a straight person killing another straight person, but if you're listening to musical theater, that's a gay murder.
It's a gay murder.
It's a gay murder.
Yeah, y'all. And you know what? It makes murder kind of bearable.
So we're doing this the way they do, I kind of know about this.
Yeah, I asked you to kind of rewatch some source material. Because I'm going to tell you the story, but you can talk about source material. That's where I wanted to let you do stuff.
Okay, and so I have another question too.
Y'all, we've talked all about this, as you can tell.
Is there anything that's a trigger warning for any? Is there anything graphic for people in here?
No, unless you're grossed out by dead bodies.
Okay, there you go.
There's no assault. There's no rape or anything like that.
Okay,
yeah,
just
we're
letting
good.
people know.
This is rape. This is certified rape-free.
Good. I like things that
Me
way.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I listen to like a lot of true crime stuff. I don't know. I'm not as much as I used to, but like as soon as he gets into rape, y'all, I have to just click it. I can't. I just can't handle it.
Yeah, I don't enjoy
like sexual assault stuff is ugh. It's not something I enjoy. Now murder, y'all, I'm all about
murder,
it.
Murder she liked.
So murder she cried. Y'all, this is the story of the drag queen and the mummy.
The drag queen and the mummy.
Ooh. My gayest murder. This may not work at all. I don't give a fuck.
It might. I guess.
Y'all, we're in a plague. So, you know what? You're going to listen.
I guess we can. That's true. Listen. I guess, should we tell people if they did wanted to watch the source material before we talk about it?
Let's say, y'all, if you wanted to watch the source material, pause now, or don't pause until I tell you. But watch Paris is Burning.
It's
the
a documentary
by Jenny Livingston, 1990, about the drag ball scene in New York
80s.
City, in Harlem.
Basically, the show Pose on FX is based all on this documentary.
Sad recreation, in my opinion. People loved that show. I liked season 1 better than season 2.
I like some things about it, some things I don't.
I despised the acting. Despised it. It was so bad.
We're not talking about that. Don't get on our soapbox. But
although I did like MJ Rodriguez.
Yeah, I do like them. Them, her. I don't know what pronoun.
You liked her, I believe.
Okay.
You liked the show more than I did when it came out.
I haven't seen the second season, so I
there
will
you go. Good representation for your community.
I want to say too that it's on Netflix. It's only an hour long. It's like we're voguing and all that.
No, about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. So
Paris
check
is
it
Burning
on Netflix, y'all. You should watch it anyway.
It's so good.
Just for your herstory.
The person we're going to be talking about, Dorian Corey, has a lot of great one-liners.
Yes.
She even defines, and that's shade.
Yes.
Because you guys, before there was RuPaul's Drag Race, before there was anything, before there was Madonna's Vogue, before there was anything, there were the drag balls in New York City.
And a lot of people don't know, Poodle and I we kind of knew, and then we recently kind of discovered this when we did a lecture, that a lot of these drag balls, these have been going on since the turn of the 20th century.
Yes.
So, and the way it used to work is that people would have drag balls, and they would also have a ball when someone, like a coming out to society.
Kind of like a debutante ball.
Like a debutante ball. And it wasn't until like Prohibition and things happened in the 20s that and 30s.
Fucking Prohibition. They ruined everything.
Where conservatism started happening in America, that people started saying coming out of the closet. That was never said. It was actually coming out to society as a homosexual was a good thing.
Yes.
I
did not know that.
We just learned that, yeah. In the 1900s and 1890s, you would come out. And homosexuality was much more
all
accepted than people think.
Pre-code movies and stuff like that. Yeah,
much more accepted in early New York. A lot more than. But then people got religious shit up their ass and came down.
And y'all, you can love Jesus and be gay, and you can love Jesus and love gay people.
Yes, those people couldn't back then, but we know that now.
You can love Jesus and suck dick.
Jesus loves the little butt fuckers, all the fuckers of the world.
I love Jesus' attitude and his writings. Sometimes he can be hot, sometimes not. I don't like that skinny Jesus. I like that buff Jesus.
I like that he could walk around with 12 men in loincloths. I'm here for that. And then one queer deer. All right, let's get to this.
Y'all, anyway, so I'll set the scene for you.
Okay.
I'll be really close to the microphone.
Okay,
in
great.
1993, Lois Taylor was meeting two men in the apartment of her recently deceased friend, Dorian Corey.
Oh.
Who we knew from Paris is Burning.
Yeah.
After Dorian's death, Lois was helping sell off some of Dorian's clothes, and these men wanted to buy them for like Halloween costumes.
And she had... Y'all, we should press. So Dorian was a seamstress and had...
Yes.
She came from like the ball period where it wasn't about looking at
very
like
showgirl.
Vegas showgirl.
Yeah,
so
long,
amazing costumes.
And she could sew. She actually went to Parsons School of Design.
Yes, she was fantastic seamstress.
Had her own side. And when Dorian died in 1993, by the way, you guys, I'm going to talk about these people who I'm going to mention. Almost everyone has died recently from AIDS-related complications.
Yeah.
It wiped out a whole generation.
Yeah.
You watch Paris is Burning and say, almost no one's alive.
This whole pandemic actually gives me just another level of empathy where we're like, who has it and stuff like that.
Right. So you guys, they were trying to sell these clothes. Lois Taylor was her friend, also a drag queen.
Okay.
And basically these men, they're like, oh, what's in this over here? A suitcase. And she's like, I don't know. I couldn't open it. And you guys, if you want to read the source material for this, there's a great article it's in the New Yorker, called The Drag Queen, or here we go. The drag queen had a mummy in her closet.
And it wasn't Brendan Fraser.
He does not look good these days.
Although his career is dead.
Okay, y'all, so
I had such a crush on him.
Wasted. Encino Man.
Ooh. That was a homosexual awakening.
What was that?
Oh my God.
You're waylaying me again.
Sorry.
I'm never going to get through this.
Sorry. Go ahead.
This was a bad idea. You're the worst person to do something like this with. Anyway, so by the way, I laughed in the shower for 10 minutes thinking about if you can cream it, you can dream it. I have not been more horrified by anyone saying that you've ever said.
Coffee mugs are coming, y'all. Coffee mugs are coming.
That was our last episode of 9 Day Fiancé. Anyway, y'all, so getting back to the murder story.
Okay.
They were kind of like, people are going to be so annoyed. They're like, tell us what happened.
They're going to be like, My Favorite Murder Girls are so much better than them.
They're like, these guys are taking 45 minutes just to get to the story. Anyway, so they're looking around in the house and they see this closet. They're like, why is this suitcase on it's so heavy. The drag queen's like, I don't know. I couldn't lift it. And so they pull open. They're like, what's in here? They open it. There's like first of all, the smell hits them. Oh. So guess what, y'all? It's a dead body. Oh. And they're like going through it. They open it up, and there's like pieces of like saran wrap layered around it. Like someone's tried to really cover this dead body in a fetal position. And they finally rip it off, and they see it is a dead body, and they call the police. And it's wrapped in like a leather naugahyde jacket, and there's all kind of weird like beer can tops that tell us when it was done, because there was a certain time where they had these beer can pop tops that they didn't go. So they found this. So they called the police. Obviously, they identified this man from his fingerprints.
Okay,
because he had been prison before. His name was Bobby Worley, a.k.a. Bobby Wells, and he had not been seen since 1968. So that body, y'all, had been 1993 now. That body had been in there like at least 20 years.
Oh, my goodness.
So, anyway, Dorian's dead, y'all.
So while Dorian was filming Paris is Burning,
yes, there was a dead body.
body.
While Jenny Livingston, her whole film crew were in there, there was a dead body sitting there in a suitcase in a fucking Louis Vuitton.
Wow.
Not a Louis Vuitton, probably a Samsonite. Okay. But anyway, so I asked, who was Dorian Corey? Who was the leader of the House of Corey? And why was there a dead man in her closet?
I don't know.
Gong, gong, gong.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, y'all, we talked a little bit about the ball culture, but Dorian was kind of like the grand doyen. If you've seen the documentary Paris is Burning, she's the one like powdering at mostly a dressing table the whole time. She's doing her makeup as she's talking. She's like, well, you know what? I'm famous in some circles. I'm not like Elizabeth Taylor.
She's kind of like I guess the correlation would be she's like the RuPaul on RuPaul's Drag Race.
She's the RuPaul of that whole thing. Well, maybe a little bit older. Maybe she's like Lady Bunny.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that just got really gay.
Yeah, it did.
It's my gayest murder.
It is my gayest murder.
Anyway, so drag balls, we talked just a little bit about. Dorian was kind of like the old school kind of drag queen where it was all the boas, big Vegas costumes. And then later it became things like, RuPaul's Drag Race says, executive realness, where people dressed like different types of society. Like you looked like an executive, and if you really could pass as an executive, because these were usually gay men or queer men, then they were called gay. And they'd be identifying as gay and dressing up like an executive and trying to be real.
Yes, or military realness,
right,
or whatever.
But this is before that time that Dorian was, and so it was all about like glamour, big gowns.
People were trying to be Marilyn Monroe,
yes,
and Elizabeth Taylor.
And there's a great thing where she's like, I was more like trying to be Lena Horne.
No one wanted to be
Lena Horne. Y'all, if you don't watch the entire Paris is Burning, go on YouTube and go shit that Dorian says from Paris is Burning.
But watch it.
But watch the whole thing. It's such a great...
Lena Horne.
Yeah. Well,
fish gotta swim and birds
but that's in a very specific version of Showboat. That's not. We're so gay. We know that there were 3 different versions of Showboat in a movie.
Man of mine.
But Lena Horne was the most appropriate because she's supposed to be
half black,
half white. Yeah. Anyway, y'all. So, who was Dorian?
I don't know. You asked 5 minutes ago. We got talking about something else.
This format is weird. Y'all, so she was born in 1937 in Buffalo, New York, on a farm, if you can imagine.
Wow.
In her hometown, like one of us would have done if we would have the opportunity, she did window displays for stores,
which
stores.
Was a big deal, y'all.
Yep.
That really is happening less and less, but it used to be a very big deal.
Yeah, that was how people went in and bought shit.
Mm-hmm.
She came to New York City to study at Parsons School for Design because she was going to be kind of a clothes designer.
Mm-hmm.
But then she got a job as the snake dancer in the Pearl Box Review, which was for African American drag queens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they toured all over. So she had her own company, Corey Designs. She performed weekly at Sally's 2.
Not Sally's 1, y'all. Not
the
Sally's
second
1.
Stage.
The second. Sally's 2.
But she was there for like almost 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, she performed there like weekly until like just a couple weeks before her death.
Oh, wow.
And she died at age 56 from age-related complications. If you look at the Paris is Burning, where are they now? Everyone is like AIDS-related complications. Because AIDS wiped out a whole generation of people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's her.
Okay.
She's very, very calm. If you watch the documentary, you'll see it's all about, and that's reading. Shade started with reading. And when you read someone, you don't say they're ugly. You say, I don't have to say it because you know you're ugly.
It's very, the way she speaks, it's not, you would think violent or aggressive.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
She's very mannered. Everything is very much like a star of the 40s, like Rita Hayworth.
She's like
everything is like that.
It's like a living Mr. Rogers puppet.
But
Calming.
even gayer.
Even gayer.
Like Madam.
But Madam was shadier.
Yes. Who was that queen of the queen of Mr. Rogers' puppet?
Focus, Sybil. Focus.
You didn't know because you would have gone off.
It's true.
Anyway, you guys, so we were able to identify who it was, Bobby Wells.
Okay.
Bobby Worley, a.k.a. Bobby Wells, from his fingerprints, because, of course, he'd had a prison record.
What do we know about him?
Well, he had been shot in the head.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And they said before, they think he'd been here for over 15, 20 years. He had been in Sing Sing prison for both burglary and assault.
Wait a minute. There was an actual prison called Sing Sing?
Sing Sing, yeah!
I always thought that was a joke for like a joke prison. That's a real prison?
That's a real prison in New York!
Sing Sing?
Yes.
It don't mean a thing if you ain't in Sing Sing. Boo-bop, 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 prison.
I feel like that's a little insensitive for the show, but that's okay.
I'm just saying.
I get you. So y'all, I can't believe you didn't know Sing Sing was real.
I thought it was a joke name. You know how it's like where people don't realize that Kleenex is the same thing as tissue. They just always called it Kleenex.
I don't think they're comparable, but that's okay. Fine. It's amazing. On a daily basis, what you reveal to me that you don't know shocks me and appalls me. Anyway, I often say that I just want to do schooling for you. Maybe we can do that, where I'll just tell you. You'll come in my living room and you'll just and I'll tell you all the things you don't know.
I'm not paying you.
You'd have to. So y'all, Bobby Worley, he'd been in prison. When he got out in the 60s, he lived with his brother after getting out of jail, and there was an issue with a woman he was seeing who was the next door neighbor because he kind of he basically roughed her up and kind of beat her up. So he's an abuser. He's a terrible person, basically. And his brother's like, "You need to leave, or I'm going to call the police."
That's good, brother.
Anyway, they contacted. When they found out who it was, the police contacted his brother, who he'd lived with, and said, how long has it been since you've seen him? And he's like, I haven't since he left my house. We just thought something bad had happened to him. And he's like, oh. He's like, yeah, he was that kind of guy.
Oh.
So, anyway, they asked, so did he ever, how do I say this? And the article used this word. This is not what we said. Did he ever keep company with transvestites?
Because y'all, so
we don't say that anymore.
We don't say that anymore. But trans people, even the people on Paris and Burning, people think they're drag queens, but probably most of them are now trans.
Most of them are trans who have kind of assumed they either live as women,
or they say they're gay men as drag queens. But anyway, they call themselves transvestites in the film.
But almost everyone says gay in the film as well, because that's what we also had to use.
Yeah.
So. And anyway, so when the brother is asked if Bobby ever kept company with trans, he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like he used to all the time, like go and solicit transvestites in town.
Because a lot of transvestites were sorry, it's hard for me to say the word, but I know we're using it in the right term. They were ladies of the night.
Sex workers.
Ladies of the night.
Yeah, because even Paris is Burning talks about that.
Yeah.
Most of them are sex workers.
Yeah,
because you can't normally pass as a job. Even Dorian says these kids these days they're working, they have jobs. You live in New York, you got to have a job.
It's true.
But she was referring to the fact that most of these trans women at the time would work as sex workers and would pass as female.
Yes.
Pose actually highlights that.
Yeah.
With what's her name? in that with the James Van Der
I
Beek
think Pose
character.
highlights this too in a way.
In season 2, yeah.
Yeah,
Season
so I have
2,
seen that. I haven't
season
seen all
2,
of it.
you guys, Elektra actually does. Someone passes out, and they do put the guy's body in a trunk.
Kind of the way they did this. Okay, yeah.
And because one of the writers, Our Lady J, was obsessed with this story.
Oh, okay.
I knew that because I read it. Yo, I actually did research for this. It's the first time for everything.
Probably the last.
It's going real well so far.
It's riveting.
So, y'all, and this is fun.
It is fun,
How
actually.
dare you?
I said it's fun.
Anyway, so the brother said, yeah, he would troll for transvestites all the time, and one night Bobby, of course, Bobby had a drinking problem. Bobby called him, the brother, and said, I and was talking to someone and called someone Dorian.
Oh, really?
And he said, no, this is your brother. So,
you used the wrong name.
That's some shit when you call your brother thinking it's your transvestite girlfriend.
That's true. That's true.
That's some shit. So anyway, and also Bobby had a really bad history of beating up women. And so,
and y'all, a lot of times, a lot of trans people, I mean, it still happens now, but it happened even more. They would get beat up or harassed or even killed, but they wouldn't report it because the police
cops wouldn't.
They wouldn't do anything back then.
So you guys, they know who it is. Now they have to figure out why. Why did Dorian have a fucking body of someone in his house?
I don't know.
In their house. And they had a couple of theories. Was this a burglar who tried to rob him? Or was this Dorian's boyfriend? Was this someone he was in a relationship with? Or was this a crime of passion? Something went wrong, and Pepper LaBeija spoke up to this.
Oh,
who is in and said, I don't remember Dorian ever having. He had a husband. She had a husband, but she did not for a while. And he's like, but she had lots of lovers at the time.
Oh,
so. We're never really sure of why this happened. We just know that there was this dead body, and it is still unsolved, you guys. Do you have questions for me?
Oh, that's it. No, I was just listening. This was like story hour with Poodle.
I know, but y'all, this drag queen killed someone and put her in a closet.
But we don't know why. So it could have been. But
I think it was probably a crime of passion because we saw how
they were together.
Keeled Dorian was.
Yeah, so definitely they were together. Definitely they had a relationship. It just wasn't like
one of the other theories was Dorian was such a mother to a lot of the other queens, and she would sew things for them. That he might have been a trick of someone she knew.
That's what I was going to say because I think Dorian would
and
kill.
She's like, you can keep it here.
And so what if Dorian didn't kill the person?
Exactly.
But someone else did.
Yeah. There was the thing but that Lois Taylor said that was taped to the body that's not in the police report. So it could have just been what Lois made up because Lois is kind of an unreliable narrator. That's the one who found the body. That says, this man tried to rob me, so I shot him. Which I don't really believe. Because why would you do that?
Yeah.
Anyway, y'all.
But it is true. You got to think about if you're a trans person in 1968, and even if you shot someone in self-defense,
right,
they would take you to prison. You'd be gone.
And y'all think about too,
especially a trans person of color.
Exactly.
Dorian Corey was black,
and
y'all.
There's a great moment where Dorian's like, you know what? Because black people, she's like, we try to play at being glamorous. She's like, because you can't get ahead. She's like, that's societal. Oh, it's so good, y'all. You have to watch this movie. Promise me you will all watch this movie. Not like you're going to say, I promise back.
No, but they might have.
I'll wait for you.
Someone just yelled out there, I promise, Poodle.
Anyway,
I don't think I have. So Bobby, how old was Bobby Wells?
Roughly the same age as Dorian.
Okay. And in 68 was like 30.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And so out of all the other people in the ball circuit, Pepper LeBeige is the only one who said anything.
They interviewed people through the ball circuit and basically said no one had anything. They said she was a very regal lady, wasn't a mean person.
Mm-hmm.
She would shade you when you weren't around, kind of like me. Very kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Dorian kind of had the most perspective as you watch from Paris is Burning. She had the most perspective about how drag queens were. She's like these young children these days. You know, they don't know what a ball is if it hit them in the head.
Now you do say that.
Yeah,
you talk like that a lot.
I feel a kinship with Dorian.
They should make a movie of this. This would be a good film.
I think they tried to make a musical out of it.
People make a musical of the worst things.
It wasn't good.
Who would play Dorian Corey? Well, hopefully someone trans. That would be nice.
Hopefully, yeah. Probably Billy Porter would do it though, even though he's not trans. Let's be honest.
Maybe because he's like fluid.
He'd be fluid just for the role.
I would want it to be someone trans. But you know what? Actually, probably
there's no famous person.
If you watch Pose, probably Dorian Corey would be. Well, no, Bill. His character is not like Dorian Corey on the show.
No, but he's a name, honey. It's so sweet that you think they'd give a lead of a musical.
No, I'm saying
like
I was trying to tell them like who Dorian Corey was in the circuit.
Oh, I don't know. It's there wasn't really for Pose. There really wasn't a version of that. That's one of my problems with Pose. Everything is really polished. Well, if you watch Paris is Burning, y'all, it ain't polished.
Yeah, there's something that I don't love about Pose as far as the realistic is that everyone who is trans but it's Hollywood, so a movie or film, they're all just pretty.
Very gorgeous. They're all very feminine.
Part of the problem is for these people is that they were not necessarily attractive nor passing as women at all. So they really stuck out.
Butch
like
Queen, first time at a ball.
It was hard for them in those day and age. So,
but it is Hollywood. My biggest problems with Pose had to do with they started focusing on the cisgender characters the most.
Oh,
like Leroy, the black male character.
Did they start doing that in season 2?
No, I stopped watching it. I couldn't. They did that so much in season 1, though.
Yeah, they did.
Anyway.
I think, spoiler alert, I think somebody gets killed on season 2 of Pose.
I like it how we haven't even seen it. We're talking about
it. But I think one of them does like violence.
Anyway, no, there is one of them.
Beat or something.
No, and there's a big funeral, and there's this huge she's murdered, and then there's this big musical episode. It's actually good. I think that's season 1 though. Someone's going to come at us and tell us.
We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Andrea Simpson's going to be like, "Bitch, I know."
Anyway, y'all. Watch Paris is Burning. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
But this has been my story, The Drag Queen and the Mummy. My gayest murder. You've never listened to My Gayest Murder. Right now,
actually,
you guys.
I've listened. I've actually saw a live show of My Favorite
Really?
Murder. Yeah. I saw a live show of it. It was great.
They're fantastic.
They are very funny.
You guys, right now,
I was at the Biltmore Hotel, and there was a murder in the Biltmore Hotel.
Oh, we're gonna do something.
We're just doing everything different. It's like we're topping.
I say keep it loose and keep it tight.
Well, nothing's tight on him. Actually, by the end of this quarantine, you'll be brand new.
I mean, Sister Mary Poodle, as we've said before.
Y'all, we're just going to take a real quick break.
Be back. You guys, I was just looking on the internet, as I want to do, not for porn this time, but I just Googled Gayest Murder. And
when you were researching?
When I was researching. And what popped up was this thing on Wattpad called The Most Gayest Murder Ever. And evidently Wattpad is something that people can just publish shit on, and some kind of 13-year-old kid will read it and say, "This is what I love, Mama."
Oh, it's like LiveJournal.
Kind of. It's like
Y'all,
new.
Come at me if you were on LiveJournal. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
You were.
I gave up all my It's gone now, but I was like wrote poems on LiveJournal.
Did
oh my
you
God.
really?
Oh,
Did you have a large following or no?
No one followed me. It was like all sad shit.
The girl that I used to work with in my day job, she just wrote like Buffy the Vampire / all day.
Wait, LiveJournal was around that long?
Yeah, in the early 2000s.
You guys, so this is called. Are you there?
Yeah.
The most gas murder ever.
And literally, y'all, it's spelled EVVVEEERRRRRR. Ever.
So you guys, this is published
Actually,
by
that's ever.
someone named Unknown Stoner.
With a picture of somebody with pretty lips.
Now, here's the thing about this person. I'm going to assume this is not satirical because all the other stories by this person was written in the same kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say way, I mean not good punctuation, and it sounds like a 13-year-old girl.
I was just looking at this, and it's like a total run-on sentence, and they don't even space
no
after
one
their
knows
periods.
any grammar, y'all. There's no space in the periods. And I'm going to sound like a 50-year-old woman here. But anyway, I'm going to read this in the voice that I assume it was written.
Okay.
And anyway,
Poodle's going to read the first part.
and we're gonna
chapter,
alternate parts.
And I'm reading the
this
second.
is kind of like my dad wrote a porno, y'all. This is kind of
It's
like
very short. It's not that long.
Yeah, it's not long. All right, here we go. Chapter 1. You guys ready? It's called Lèvres Ours. Lèvres Ours. I guarantee you this person did not know how to pronounce that.
And what's that mean?
Bare lips.
Bare lips.
I was going to get to that, but thank you for ruining it.
Well, you're welcome.
Here we go. Chapter 1 of my most gayest murder ever. Hi, my name is Dustin Smith, and this is how I solved the most gayest murder ever.
Jesus.
Sorry. Me and Johnny, my boyfriend, no commas. Me and Johnny, my boyfriend, went to a hotel to stay 10 weeks there so I can write my novel. 10 weeks?
So he's a detective, so it's like...
I guess you just stay 10 weeks to write a novel. Anyway, going back. I didn't know what the title or the plot or the story was going to be about. Typical. Johnny and I stayed at the Lèvres Ours in West Hollywood. It's French for bare lips.
Okay.
When me and Johnny walked in, Johnny and I, it was huge and amazing. I signed us in. I don't know why that's necessary. They told us our room number. I don't know if I can do this. They told us our room number, ARE, was room 606. Yeah.
Jesus.
That's how big it is. I don't get that. I guess that's some really bad joke. They told us it's on the 13th floor, which they don't have. There's no 13th floor.
Oh, there's no third. Okay.
Me and Johnny looked at each other. Obviously, we were scared. Then we went to the elevator. After we went to the rooms and unpacked and unsettled everything, we went to the pool, which was on the 2nd floor. Why is this necessary to say?
Is this just a journal?
No, I don't know. Wow, who gives a shit what floor the pool is on? While we were swimming, we saw Troy. What? Sorry. While we were swimming, we saw Troy Sivan, and we were such fangirls.
I don't know who that is.
Troy Sivan. Yeah, he's a big gay. He was a YouTube star for a while. He's like Twinkie.
I don't have time for YouTube stars.
We took a bunch of pics together, and then I went back to my room and started getting to write my book. So, y'all, you go to swim, and then you see Troy Sivan, and then you decide to go write your novel.
Exactly. You're like, whoa, inspiration.
First, I needed a title, something that was scary since I'm writing a horror book. Then I thought maybe, God, Cuchillo del Arco Iris, which is Spanish for rainbow knife. And then I thought maybe a gay serial killer in Mexico who comes to America and goes to Washington to kill the government and move to Canada. Yeah, good luck killing the government.
So angry at you for making me read this right now. This is so stupid.
Right when I was about to turn the lights off. Sorry, right when I was about to type, the lights turn off. Oh my God. Then, that's a sentence, by the way. Right when I was about to type, the lights turn off. Then there was a text from my boyfriend and said that there was a killer in the hotel. Again, I have no clue. Then I heard a knock, and then I heard my boyfriend say, it was me. So then I opened it and I let him in. Again, This is just recounting of what happened. Then he said, what do we do?
There's so many thens.
I told him, let's call the police. And then we're gonna call the hotel and ask them what we're going to do. After we called the police, we called the hotel, but they wouldn't pick up. Then we got a phone call. I answered it, and it was the hotel. And they said to lock your doors, stay calm, hide, and then we will tell you when to get up. After 4 hours later, the cops showed up, which was wired.
I think that's supposed to be weird. I think that's supposed to be weird.
Which was weird.
Which was wired. I'm going to say that from now on.
Why would the cops show up 4 hours later? No question mark. Then we heard a knock on the door. I asked, who's there? Then the police say, open up now. I opened the door, and the police came in here with guns. Then my boyfriend screamed. They asked us, where are your parents? I told them to forget. I forgot to tell my parents. When I got my iPhone out, obviously it's important he has an iPhone. When I got my iPhone out, the police officer said, that's not going to work. Then they told us that someone put the dead government bodies in the empty swimming pool in the hotel pool, and they wrote glitter in the walls, Cuchillo del Arco Aris. I have no fucking clue what that means.
Let's diagram that sentence, shall we?
They told us that someone put the dead government bodies.
They put the bodies in an empty swimming pool
in the hotel pool.
So there's an empty swimming pool in the hotel pool.
Besides the one they've already swum in.
So there's a pool in a pool.
Yes.
Just so we know.
Yes.
That is a pretty fancy, literally a pool. It's like a donut, but a swimming pool. And then they wrote
glitter on the walls. They had a lot of glitter.
What walls?
Cuchilla del Arco Iris. So rainbow knife.
Which walls? The walls of the empty swimming pool?
I believe the walls of the
hotel?
empty swimming pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I gasped. And then they looked at me and asked me, what? Why are you so shocked? Then I told them I was writing a book about a Mexican guy killing the government and then moving to Canada. And the book title was Cuchillo del Arco Iris. They all gasped. Okay, so next part is you.
So this guy basically is kind of like a murder sheep, kind of like an Angela.
I don't even know. I swear to God, though, y'all, I think this is real because all the others are really, serious.
So... kind of like an Angela Lansbury, but also kind of like, I guess, not Encyclopedia Brown, but more like Encyclopedia Bottom.
Yes.
All right. Come at me if you read Encyclopedia Brown.
Read it, you whore.
Okay, so chapter 2.
You can choose whatever voice you need to write. I just did it in a Twinkie voice.
Thank you. Chapter 2, Cuchillo del Arco Iris. So... the cops were suspicious. Then they were going to take me away for questioning, but then the lights were turned off. So, clearly, it was completely dark. It usually is when all the lights are turned off. Then all of a sudden, my boyfriend was gone. It's capital G, y'all. Capital G.
Y'all, the grammar of this is atrocious.
The cop said, what the heck? Where
I guarantee you a cop didn't say what the heck.
Where did he go? Then I looked at his name tag, and it said, Jake.
I didn't read this far. I didn't know this would go this way.
Then I said, Jake, what if the killer took him? Then he said, well, maybe he thought your boyfriend was cute. Then he chuckled. Then he looked at me, and then he stopped. Then he said, well, if the killer did take him there, take him... well, hold on.
Take him either there.
If the killer did take him, either they're hiding in the hotel or maybe going to Canada. Then I said, let's find him. Jake told me to stay here. I was so worried. Then I thought I could trust the police. Then after that, I locked the doors and watched TV while playing on my phone. Y'all, maybe the cop left. We didn't get that really from the sentence structure. But anyway, they go on to say, which was weird because my mom called. with a question mark?
Because my mom called.
Then I thought the police was lying to me because my
Was
phone...
lying to me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Then I thought, was the police lying to me because my phone works fine? Not a question mark. Then I heard a knock on the window.
Ooh, very nice.
After I opened the blinds, it was Johnny. And then I screamed, Johnny!
That's not set up in quotes or anything, y'all.
I was scared because he was in the 13th floor.
Ooh.
He was he was literally in the 13th floor.
Inside the wall.
Inside the walls, I guess. He was in the 13th floor, but then I realized there was a balcony.
Okay.
Then I said, what are you doing there? Then he said, I don't know. I just remember I just remember me being unconscious when I heard that your killer is real. So when he heard the killer, he was unconscious when he heard it.
This could have been shortened by just learning how to do set-off quotes.
Exactly.
And understanding not then he said.
Then when I was about to let him in, a pink glittery hang
What is happening?
covered Johnny's mouth. I don't know what a hang is.
I don't either.
Then he slowly disappeared, and then I heard a loud thump. Then I saw Johnny come back, and I asked him, what the heck was that? I threw him off the roof.
What?
I don't know why they threw them off the roof, but they did.
Pow.
Yahoo! Then I came out and looked over the balcony, but he was gone. Then I turned around and looked at him, and the killer had a rainbow mask and had a rainbow shirt and pants also with glitter. He had a knife, and on that knife was a dead Jake the officer. Y'all,
I don't know what's happening.
there's two other parts of this, but I guess people are going to have to go find it. Where are we reading those two or no?
Yes.
Oh, we're reading this whole thing. Okay.
There's only 4 parts.
Okay. Go ahead.
This is part 3.
Oh, this is short.
Chapter 3.
They ran out of fuel.
The end?
It literally says the end question mark.
As I saw the killer and the dead officer.
I just want to say, this is a chapter, y'all. It's just basically one paragraph. That's
Yeah,
all
that's how
that's
kids
all they
do
can
these
write
days.
for a chapter.
As I saw that killer and that dead officer, I tried to run away, but the killer caught me. In a deep voice, he said, "I got a surprise for you." The killer lifted up his mask, and then I saw that it was Johnny.
Johnny was a killer who he just threw off the roof.
I gasped, and then he said, "Yes, I'm the killer." I then asked, "Why?"
Why?
He then said to me, "You forgot our anniversary."
R is spelled A-R-E. I don't think English is their first language.
I don't care. It's no excuse. Then he kissed me. That was a quick resolution,
They're
y'all.
like, yeah. And
So obviously bygones are bygones. People are dead, but who cares?
who cares?
Then he kissed me, and while he was kissing me, he stabbed me.
Stabbed me.
Wow, yo, that was whiplash. And then he kissed me, and then while he's kissing me, he stabbed me. Then he said, "Got ya."
Wow. That's
I
what they
said, "What?" Confused.
I said, what? Confused.
Then everyone came out. Then he said it was a prank. Then I said I was bleeding. Or it's just a pack of blood. This is such a meta theater experience. Have you ever seen the movie Reindeer Games, where it's like one thing? It's a terrible movie. Like one thing happens, and you're like, what is the real reason? Then we all laughed. Then he said I did this because I wanted to get you back. Also, I wanted you to have inspiration for your book. Like you are book. Then after we cleaned up, Johnny went to bed, and all night I was typing my book. Then I finished it. I went to bed, and me and Johnny snuggled all night.
And then chapter 4, which is another
Epilogue.
paragraph. Yeah, chapter 4, which is another paragraph, just as titled, Not So Quick.
They used to call me that in college.
Yeah. There goes Not So Quick. Hi, boys. Okay. The next morning, I talked to some book publishers. Let me just contact them. The next morning, I talked to some book publishers, and they said they'll publish it and asked me all 3 questions.
Obviously read a novel in a night.
They asked me all these questions, and then a month later, Literally, that's how the sentence ends.
And then a month
And then
later, period.
Month later, period. My book came out and everyone loved it. We had a huge book release party at the hotel.
This same hotel must be the only hotel in town, y'all.
It's true. Then, while me and my boyfriend were... Did Avery write this? I bet me and Omar.
Me and Omar.
Then, while me and my boyfriend were having a good time, the lights switched off.
Uh-oh. They're having a good time, y'all. They're fucking...
And then I said, Johnny, is this another prank? By the way, prank is capitalized.
Obviously, it's like it's German.
Then
so we're capitalizing nouns.
And then he said no, he very confused. Then everyone ran to the rooms. While we were in the rooms, we heard
Snock.
We heard snock on a balcony. Then I checked to see who it was. Then it was someone wearing an Obama mask, holding a gay American flag.
There's a gay American flag?
It's where you the stars and stripes are the rainbow. The stripes are the rainbow.
Oh,
but inside are the stars.
I get it.
You know what? Obama would hold a gay. He
would.
likes gay people. Anyway, so where was it? Holding a gay American flag? I opened it, and then he picked me up and threw me over the balcony, and then I landed on a soft mattress. Because there was a mattress.
Yo, I'm like getting whiplash here.
And then I threw a bucket of fake blood to make it look like I died. Oh, didn't I tell you? I'm pranking him back.
You got him!
After I heard him cry and yell, no! I told everyone on the walkie-talkies.
He's had enough. He's had enough.
He had enough. Then everyone came out of their hiding spot and yelled, surprise!
Surprise!
Then he started laughing, and he said, this is payback for when I pranked you? I said, yeah, and then we both laughed again, and we lived happily ever after. Epilogue, I sucked his dick. The epilogue was me, y'all. That was better written.
I promise, I think that was real.
Well,
I honestly think that was real.
People get on drugs and they do things, Poodle, and I think this person did things. That's what I think happened.
So, y'all...
But I think we're never going to get those 10 minutes back, ever. Wow.
I just...
That was... So if you're...
I'm glad we did Gayest Murder Ever.
If y'all want us to read some of your writings, we won't. So not after that.
They better be that good.
They better be that good. This was Gayest Murder Ever.
This was Gayest Murder Ever, y'all. No, that's not this is my Gayest Murder. I want to throw something bad.
You called it Gayest Murder Ever.
That's the story.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
This is, yes, y'all.
This episode has been called My Gayest Murder.
So we tried
My
something.
Gayest Murder. We tried to blend true crime with our show. I don't think it worked.
I don't think it worked either, but we had fun.
We had fun.
And regardless, you should watch Paris is Burning. That is great.
Yeah. Y'all should watch that shit.
So
and watch Cold Justice
so this
on
comes
Oxygen.
Up on our regular feed, right? Yeah.
Yes.
This is our regular. So y'all.
On Friday.
You can still tune in to all of our other stuff. We're going to keep on doing 90 Day. We're going to be doing on April 20th. Then they're doing 90 Day What Now? So we've got...
right. No, Quarantine Edition.
Quarantine Edition.
Y'all, this Saturday, we're having our watch and chat.
Oh, yeah.
It's on Netflix, you guys, at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
That's when we're starting. It's at 5
We're
p.m.
starting.
Pacific.
We are watching The Breakfast Club.
We're watching The Breakfast Club.
Because this whore... This filthy, disgusting, disease-ridden whore has never seen it.
Which, you know what?
Y'all, you had to actively avoid that movie.
Isn't it, though, such a good thing that I have not seen it now?
No,
Now
it's not.
Now we have an event for it.
Nope. You know what? It's serendipity, and it's me rubbing your nose in your feces.
I think
and
I'll
I can't
probably
wait.
have to watch this one at my house, because otherwise you're just going to yell at me through the whole film.
Nope. You're watching it here.
If
I've got corona, you're breathing my air.
Oh, Jesus. We'll see about that.
Y'all, we're watching The Breakfast Club. So
we're going to watch that on
Saturday. If you don't have Netflix, find some way to download it illegally. I don't give a shit.
Or you can just start the movie when we say it's going to be on our live feed.
And the Sissy Squad, y'all.
Sissy Squad. So join the Sissy Squad for that. and I think, let's see, we've got merch, Tiger Queens, all that's going. There should be another, maybe when this comes out, the episode of Tiger King would have dropped, so we're going to recap that.
And y'all, we're about to, come at us on Patreon, we're about to record our 90 Day Gays. This is Before the 90 Days, Season 2, Episode 7. Jesse and Darcy and Crazy Ricky, y'all, with Jimena, who are otherwise known as Sloppy Seconds.
This is the Jesse and Darcy breakup season. I have to say, it's been good. It's so
riveting.
If you have not seen it, even if you don't listen to our Patreon, to the Gatreon,
you need to watch it.
You should watch it. It's on YouTube or Hulu because, boy, you have such an understanding, a deeper understanding of Darcy.
Yep.
You get it. So be sure to check that out. And I think that's all that we needed to talk about. We appreciate when you leave a review. 5 stars. You put Keep Going, Queens. Let us know on our social media what you thought of this episode at 90 Day Gays. We're on Twitter and Instagram. We appreciate that shout out.
And y'all, this bonus episode is for y'all in the Corona bonus. If you're knee deep in it and your kids are screaming, this is for y'all, and this is just a little love for y'all, and y'all can keep going.
You'll keep
going. They got through it in 1918, and you'll get through it now. I
will say, too, for the Gatreon, normally everything is the same on the $5 tier, y'all, so basically you pay $5, you get everything, including the watch-alongs. I will say for some of you, just kind of as a treat, but also we've revamped our watch-along where it's edited for your pleasure. So next week, we are going to put out that watch-along. We're going to put that as a public for free. Ooh. So everybody can watch that.
Y'all, you need to thank us for that shit. That's blood, sweat, and tears.
30 minutes for your pleasure, just for y'all to see it, and also just to give you something.
One last thing. I know this will go out on Friday, but happy Passover.
Happy Passover.
And y'all, if the Jews can survive slavery in Egypt for thousands of years, we can get through a fucking pandemic, y'all.
We can get through a fucking pandemic.
Get through it.
And on that, y'all, we will see you next time.
Bye.